In this video, I'm going to share all the tools I've used to level up my own Airbnb business over the last couple of years, things that have worked, things that haven't worked, and the most essential things that you need to start your co-hosting or just Airbnb business in general. If you're new here, my name is Justin McKay. I am a Airbnb property manager and short-term rental co-host. I started out as a freelance co-host a couple years ago, and now I'm a business owner of a property management firm called Peak Host. We manage all over the country. We've managed thousands of stays, super host status and premier host status on both Airbnb and VRBO. These are some of the things that have worked for me, and hey, they might work for you too. So let's dive into it. Number one, we're going to talk about listing copy. People don't think about this too much, and honestly, I see so many listings out there that have beautiful photos, sick location, awesome amenities, and they just don't have the copy to be able to spark the Airbnb algorithm or get someone interested in their place. So a couple tools I use to help out here: ChatGPT or an AI system similar to this, where you can type in, hey, this is some stuff about my property. These are the amenities there. Can you write up a listing description that is funny, charming, scary, enticing, whatever you want it to say. Also, go in and check out some of your top listings in the area. It's okay to pull some stuff from there. Hey, I like this listing description. I like this neighborhood description for this one, these photo descriptions. Pick and choose from the best ones. That's how I did it when I was getting started, and I still do it every month on all of our portfolio. Last but not least, using Canva for logos. If you haven't used Canva, go and check it out. I mean, I think they're free. Their free is pretty good, but their premium is only like $10 or $12 a month, and you get insane amount of templates and logos. If you're looking to really create like a direct booking platform, a business around one of your homes, go in there and create a logo and mess around with that stuff. It's amazing. Looks so professional. Next is going to be a pricing tool. I can't preach this enough. I use Price Labs. I've talked about it in other videos, but we've also got Beyond. We've got Wheelhouse. I think AirDNA has their own pricing now. I don't know if it syncs. It's fairly new. Don't quote me on that. But Price Labs, Beyond, Wheelhouse, a pricing tool. I will tell you, all of these tools take a lot of upfront work to get to understand them, but the payoff is absolutely massive. The wealth of data, from neighborhood data to market analysis, to be able to break down your competitors and see exactly what they're getting booked for and what you're listed at and how to perfectly price yourselves is just amazing. I will add in here, and I've had a cautionary tale before in a couple videos, but it's not set it and forget it. It's definitely set it, maintain it, and forget it. So what I mean by that is, for our portfolio of 30 listings, we do 1 week checks on the entire portfolio, so every Sunday, and then every Wednesday, any listings that need kind of a double check or a deeper look, we'll get a second check on that Wednesday. If anything is extreme, this is very rare, we'll check it again on Friday or Saturday even. We'll even just check in through it throughout the week, but that's pretty rare. The cool thing about the tool is, once you set up the settings and parameters, these usually update every 24 hours, so you're best positioned in the market. Get one of these if you haven't already. Next is going to be guest communication. So this is where I'm going to go to. If you've got a bigger portfolio of, like, honestly, more than 2 or 3 listings, I would start looking on Upwork and Fiverr to find a virtual assistant. There are so many good ones out there these days that are just tenured in managing hundreds of Airbnbs. They know how to message correctly. And if you have a framework of how you want them to communicate with your guests, and you also have a backlog of frequently asked questions and just deep dive information about all your listings that you can give them, you'll set them up for success. And my one tip here will be, let them fail a little bit. Let them learn by trial and error. Don't be too aggressive with them, but I can tell you right away that this will put so much time back in your day, not having those messages pop through on your phone constantly from guests and complaints and, oh, I need toothbrush, or I need a towel has a little fuzz on it, I need a new one. Like, hand that off to someone else. That's the first thing I did. I will say it's not easy at first, but it was the first thing I made myself do, and the results are compounding and amazing. Next, this goes hand in hand with the last one on guest communication. This is operations, and this is going to apply more for hosts and businesses at scale, but it's important to start thinking about even when you've only got 1, 2, or 3 listings. This is going to be things like a property management system, a back-end like note-taking system, and then kind of like a drive or a cloud system. I'll start with a PMS. So we use Hospitable. I've got a bunch of videos about that. that you can check out. There's also Hostfully, which is okay, I've used before, Guesty, and there's a million more. Honestly, they all do the same thing. They all essentially have the same tools, and I'll just give you the basic framework of what this is able to do. Automated messaging, AI generated responses, so answering without even needing to prompt an automatic response. If you ask one of my properties on one of my listings, what are the best restaurants to go to, you're getting a message within seconds. It's already answered. It's already in the tool. It's ready to go. No one's even clicking a button. The tool is just sending it out. They can also send messages to your cleaners and maintenance people and anyone on your team with notifications for different activities like a check-in, a new booking, a cancellation. You can also set up upsells in here. It's a unified inbox for all your booking platforms. Just at the end of the day, if you've only got a handful of listings, go and grab one of these right away. It is a game changer. Again, like the pricing tool, there's a little nuance to it and build up, but you really only have to spend a little bit of time in it to set it up and get the thing moving like a well-oiled machine. So go and get one of these if you don't have one. Next, and if you're not new to this channel, you've heard me talk about this a million times, and that is documenting everything. And you know, I do this in Notion. I have a video of it right here. I've also used Evernote in the past, and I use Google Drive and iCloud Drive a little bit to just kind of sync all of our stuff together across, I have employees in different countries, different continents. We got to make sure everyone can access it at different times. So we should have it in a unified Google Cloud kind of area. But I'll just get back to Notion real quick. You just have to have something where you're able to have your team members or even just yourself go to answer a frequently asked question or information about a listing. Probably the most used for us is property guides. A property guide for us is where you've got, the address, bedroom count, bathroom count, Wi-Fi, where the modem is, where the circuit breaker is, parking, little nuanced information that, yes, it can be passed through to a guest in a check-in message or a booking confirmation message, but there's maybe little things that don't need to be shared or that don't come up in every stay, or honestly, it could just be a case of a guest not reading the information. And in order for my team to have as much information as they need and not message me, they've got a property guide. They have a whole backlog of information that they can access, so they can just get it to the guest and that's over with. And that's kind of like the tip of the iceberg. I even started with, and if you're starting out bringing on new people to your company, I highly suggest documenting every single process that you've ever done for this business, whether it's how to schedule a cleaner, how to deal with maintenance above X amount of dollars, how to deal with emergency maintenance here. I have a whole backlog of how-to documents for this. Sounds a little tedious, but I learned it from a book I read, The E-Myth Revisited, and it's made our systems and operations like clear cut and run, completely removing myself from the day-to-day and allowing our now ops lead to really just manage people, not have to focus on, okay, a guest asked this random question, what do we do? Okay, we have to get the roof fixed. Who do I call? It's already documented and ready to go. So to summarize that one, that was a big one. Get a property management system. We use Hospitable. It rocks. They're all pretty much the same though. Just comes down to price. And then get a note-taking or a database system like Notion or Evernote, and then sync all your files with Google Drive or iCloud Drive or Dropbox, whatever you got out there. But do that to keep yourself organized. Next is security, and this is important to a lot of people, as it should be. We'll keep this one simple. The best companies out there in terms of locks. I used to love Yale. I still use Yale at a lot of our properties. It replaced August. I think they bought August, or they're both the same company, but the legacy August stuff, which you can still buy, not too great. Batteries die really quickly. Just go with Yale. The Yale Assure 2 works really well. Honestly though, the best one we've used, and we just haven't gotten along to transitioning everyone over, is the Schlage Encode. Batteries last like 6 months to a year. It's easy to sync up with our PMS Hospitable, so a new code is generated automatically. Like no one has to lift a finger, and there's a short code in our check-in message, so it just gets populated in there and goes. The second the lock is linked up to your listing, there's nothing you have to do from there. I haven't been in a lock app in like a year, and I manage 30 properties. It's all just automatic, new code for everyone, and we haven't had security issues. Next one, you've got Minute, which those are, I think they do cameras as well. The biggest thing I've seen is noise detector for parties and stuff like that. Honestly, I've had like 1 or 2 properties with these installed by the owners, and I think you can get tripped pretty easily when like could just be a little kid crying or like kids having fun and playing around, and it'll buzz off like, ooh, high level of noise detected, and you think it's a party and freaking out and all this stuff. I will say, if you are in like a high party, high turnover area, maybe like a New Orleans or like a Scottsdale or even sometimes Nashville, even though I'm in Nashville and I don't have these, but areas or maybe times of the year when you expect bigger parties, to have these installed. But overall, I think it's just doing too much. But if you need it, Minute, M-I-N-U-T, is the company to go to. Last but not least, we've got Ring. Ring crushes it in terms of syncing everything together, whether it be cameras, outdoor cameras on the front, the Ring doorbell, which those help a lot to just track packages. Honestly, I could care less about guests coming in and out, unless there's an issue, of course, but we just track like deliveries and stuff with that. And then they also have like outdoor cameras, even like some indoor cameras for like, I don't know, a private garage space that you have locked off. Just good security stuff, and everything kind of syncs in their own cloud and app, so easy to access. And if you're going to get one, I would go with them. Last but not least, if you're looking for new business, the 2 things I've used the most to help owners search for good investments, or even just help clients realize how much their property is worth, it's going to be Awning and AirDNA. Maybe you've heard about both of them. Maybe you've only heard about AirDNA. That's really the big one. They've done a lot in the last year to upgrade their interface and upgrade the data they're able to give us, and it's just been amazing. I can't say enough about it. Awning the same way. Awning doesn't have the same amount of market data. Like, they're not as robust. But the data they do have is pretty incredible, and they're able to give suggestions on the top markets. AirDNA does the same. But they're both, I use both of them whenever I'm either talking to someone new, or I've got a client who's like, hey, we want a property in Bethel, Maine, or Medford, Oregon. I've never been there. I got to go figure it out. I can just dive in for a couple hours and just really get a full understanding of both of those markets just from 2 websites. So go ahead and dive into those if you need some new business. They're super helpful. If you like this video, go check out this one where I break down Notion and everything I do for it, or just go check out one of these where I break down Hospitable, Price Labs, anything you need to become a short-term rental wizard. All right, thanks for watching.